Hello and welcome to 10 Lenses. I'm Adam Thomas, and this is Session 7. Today we're talking about the context that surrounds the passages that we study in the Bible. We're going to need a little help today. We're going to be using books like these to help us study. So let's get right to it. The Bible can be really difficult to understand sometimes. I'm sure you've probably had the experience of reading a passage, closing the Bible, and then going, "What?" Oftentimes we have this reaction because the Bible was written a really long time ago. The newest parts of the Bible were written about 1900 years ago, and the oldest parts about 3,000 years ago. That means there are centuries and centuries worth of history separating our modern context from the Bible's context. But before we go any further, I want to dispel one hazardous area. It's pretty easy for us modern people to think that we are the best people that have ever lived. That society over the course of centuries has been evolving and evolving to this pinnacle state that we are in now. However, if you look at our pop culture or at our popular music, you know that that's probably not true. And while our popular context might point towards a decline, I still think that we have that sinking suspicion that we're kind of that pinnacle of human evolution. And this can make us have a certain reaction to the text of the Bible. We can read them and then relegate them to their context and say, oh, those people didn't know enough, or those people didn't have the modern advances that we have now. Those people didn't understand what they were talking about, but we do. That's not necessarily the best way to approach studying the Bible. A better way is to read the passages that we have in the Bible and look at their context and say, wow, this context is actually very similar to ours. Yeah, they might not have cars and cell phones, but times really haven't changed that much. Approaching it from this perspective gives us the ability to make our modern context travel back in time and blend in with the contexts that we see in the Bible, and thus we have more connection with that older context. So when we read the Bible, let's dispel the notion that we modern humans are the pinnacle of evolution, and let's try to put ourselves back into that more traditional context that we find in the Bible. This is going to take a lot of imagination to do, but we have some help. That help comes from biblical scholars who have done lots and lots of research into the books of the Bible and written really helpful books called commentaries. When we are confused about a passage in the Bible, when it rubs us maybe the wrong way, the best place to go first is to prayer, to ask God to open us up to feeling that confusion and holding on to it while we consult sources, while we stay with that passage to see if it might be saying something to us, even in the midst of that confusion and discomfort. One of those places we can go is to those commentaries. One of the best commentaries to go to if you don't consider yourself a biblical scholar, most of us don't, is something called the New Interpreter's Bible. If you're at St. Stephen's, then you can come into our church library and look at this anytime you want. If you want to go a little deeper into your passage in the Bible, I would suggest a commentary called the Anchor Bible Commentary. There are volumes of that commentary for each book in the Bible. And the one that I'm holding here is the 2-volume commentary about the Gospel according to John by Raymond Brown. This book was written about 50 years ago, and it is still incredibly current. It's a masterpiece that I really, really love. If this amount of text on one book of the Bible is daunting to you, don't worry. They come in smaller ones too. This is also about the Gospel according to John by the same guy. So he can write a little bit about it or a ton about it. There are also 1-volume commentaries that cover the entire Bible. These are great if you're just looking for kind of an overview of particular passages. I'll go ahead and put links to these particular commentaries in the body of this lesson, and I'll also have a few links to great websites that provide commentary. One of my favorites is a website called workingpreacher.org, and you don't have to be a preacher to go read this website. This site is set up to look at the passages that are going to come up in the Sunday lectionary for the following week. So if you're trying to get a jump start on what lessons are going to be read on a particular Sunday, workingpreacher.org is a great place to go and read some commentary about those particular texts. You also have to be careful about going online to read commentary about the Bible. For every one really good website that has great commentary about the Bible, there are literally hundreds of websites that provide really bad commentary about the Bible. So just be careful when you're going on a website to read commentary, and really be critical of what you read. Use your best judgment. Use your own brain when you're reading that commentary, and hopefully you'll be able to separate the good stuff from the lots and lots of bad stuff on the internet. The reason that reading some of this secondary material is a good idea is that it helps us to just get outside of ourselves when we're reading the Bible. Just like reading the Bible with a group of people is always a good idea, reading the Bible alongside a commentary allows us to have a sort of a conversation with a biblical scholar while we're reading. The Bible is full of bits of tradition that are foreign to us, customs that we don't really understand because we didn't live 2,000 years ago in the Middle East. The commentaries that we read and other kinds of contextual sources help us to bring our modern context back to that earlier tradition and bring that earlier tradition into our modern context. It's a really good idea if you do have that confused what after you read a biblical text to go to those commentaries to see if you can find some information about what made you uncomfortable, and maybe using those resources you can come to some better understanding of the text that you're reading and have a deeper encounter with God through that passage. This has been 10 Lenses. We have 3 more sessions left, so get ready, and I'll see you again next week.